sinners, and saints. Dust off those horns and halos. It's time for Alan After Dark.
Sinners, saints, bitches, whores, hookers, cocksuckers, pole smokers, diphthongers, etc., etc., etc. I hope you're having a fucking good day, good night. I hope you had a good week. I myself, of course, haven't, and I'm going to be probably a whiny little bitch all night. Have you ever had those days where you just look at somebody and you almost unleash your high-pitched voice like, are you in there? Is your brain working? I don't understand how you could be so stupid sometimes. Does that happen to you? Well, it's been happening a lot to me lately, and I don't know what to do about it. You can't smack the shit out of people anymore. You can't reason with them just to show a little bit of common sense, because I don't think common sense is even a thing anymore. It must be totally out. The new in thing must be stupidity. I'm serious. What the fuck, people? And I know I've had my stupid days too. We all have a stupid day. But I bet you're like me. I own up to my shit. These people that do something stupid and can't admit that they did it, that's what pisses me off. When somebody, oh, sorry guys, I'm drinking. Not alcohol just yet, but we're getting close. But when the word is seismic and they pronounce it sesame, when they're reading it, sweet God and baby Jesus help us. I mean, I don't know what to do or say sometimes, but just look at people and like, can you turn the power on? How many bricks shy of a load are you? You fucking airhead, you titmouse, you amoeba, you beaver bean, you slit skittle, you twat waffle.
I'm sorry, what?
I swear to God, I'd rather have a colonoscopy than to listen to some of these dumbasses. At least I'd be unconscious and something up my ass. That's much preferable to what's been going on with these morons. I know you wish I would elaborate, but I think I've elaborated enough. I am been so pissed off. You know, you have those days when just every little thing can get on your damn nerves. You're working your ass off and somebody does or says something stupid. Well, I have been very aggravated at the Southern accent this week. People that I know that have an extremely heavy, thick Southern accent, and it is just getting on my last gay nerve, I have to tell you. I just wanted to scream so many fucking times this week. Why do you have to talk like somebody who come down from Bug Tussle who wants to eat some hog jowl and squat over a rattlesnake and maybe eat some pussy or drink some Pabst Blue Ribbon?
Yeehaw.
And I promise you, that's not as thick as theirs is. I just seem to be on the edge of, well, not the edge of 17 and not the edge of a nervous breakdown, just on the edge of snapping to where I just slap somebody's face for being stupid. Okay, that's enough of that. That's really enough of that. So I hope you're doing well and all that shit that I usually say every week. You may not get that this week. I don't know exactly what frame of mind I am to do this episode, but we'll figure it out as we go along, won't we? That's what we usually do anyway. And it is kind of more fun. And isn't it funny how people can make you feel stupid even though you really weren't intending on being stupid? I'll give you an example. We were talking about relationships or the lack thereof the other day. And I was just saying really loudly and proudly how happy I am being single. And one of the girls just said, I hate it. I miss my boyfriend. And one of the other ladies, one of the older ladies, she says, I really do miss my husband and my relationship. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't. I just don't think you need one. And she stands up and she looks at me and she goes, well, mine died. Okay, sorry, I didn't know that. I wasn't trying to rub salt in your wound. I'm just saying that I'm happy being single. I wasn't saying that I'm happy that your husband's dead. But way to go, making me feel guilty for something that I had no control whatsoever over. But that's how people can be, though. Now, I need to lighten up a little bit. She didn't really mean any harm. I know someone who, like, if there's a family reunion or some kind of get-together with the family, And she'll just go, "Oh my God, I just don't want to go. It's a long drive and I just hate going to these things because I'm just so uncomfortable and I just want to leave early." But that's the type that absolutely wants to go because they want to complain about it for the next 5 days when they get back. Oh my God. On top of that, is everybody's family just absolutely batshit crazy? I hope so. I hope I'm not the only one, right? I guess that's one of the reasons why I have trouble with relationships. I've seen in my own family how many relationships dissolve, crash and burn, and just blow up. So if the end result always is a divorce, why don't I just jump to that part right now and skip all the other parts? So maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should just say, well, I'm divorced. Would that take care of it? Is that the same thing as being single? Should be. It's just a different way to say it, right? And I swear to God, you're going to think that I dropped some acid or I'm on cocaine or something, but I promise you I'm not. This is the voice of someone who is actually exhausted. But it's not only because I worked my ass off this week, it's because all these morons that got on my nerves, that's what's exhausted me. Trying to overcome this gigantic hill of dumbassery that has been going on. And I hope that most of you, if not all of you, can sympathize with me. Can't you? Okay, wait, who's driving? Whoever's driving, can you pull off and get us a chocolate milkshake? I don't care if it's McDonald's or Dairy Queen or some other queen. I just need a chocolate milkshake. So can somebody get me one of those? Yeah, it's probably stupid to have one of those before I go out drinking, isn't it? Could have a White Russian, but no. I got drunk on those one time and I was so sick. Ugh. You know how awful it is to get sick on dairy? Jesus Christ. But who would have thought Kahlua, milk, and vodka could mix? But it does. Oh yeah, and that other drink, what is it called? A mudslide? That might be a cool name, but there's just something about it that doesn't make me feel so great. But right now, I'd be willing to try anything. Oh, so I was in this meeting, I was talking, and I guess at that very moment today, one single follicle from my eyebrow decided to grow at a length to droop down where it was coming down across my eye, almost like a windshield wiper. Everybody kept wondering, based on their reactions, why Alan's right eye kept looking up and trying to figure out what the deal was going on, and watching me take my fingers and try to rub and pull that hair at least to the side, back up into the eyebrow, or yank it out. So I made a spectacle of myself today too. God, what a fucking awful day. Shit. I couldn't imagine being someone famous like a James O'Brien or, a celebrity or something where you have to be on the set to film a new television episode or work on a movie. But if you're a talk show host and you're having a bad day, how that can't show in your performance. I'm so glad that I'm just this little peon and I can vent to all of you and you can laugh without me knowing about it or offer some sympathy. But can you imagine having just a really bad day and then having to do your show or being a pop star and go on stage that night and try to perform if everything went to shit that day? I don't think it'd be so easy, but maybe it is. Maybe that would be your escape, and that pump of adrenaline would keep you going and satisfy and give you a little break from all the crap that's going on in your life. But I don't know. You're worried about the television ratings. You're worried about your listenership. You're worried about the box office, all those things. So there's plenty of stuff to stress over, even if you're not having a stressful time. Where am I going with this? Kids, I have no fucking clue. I just wanted y'all to know that everybody in the whole freaking world has a bad day every once in a while. Apparently I'm having a bad century, but we won't go into all that. That's actually why I created Alan After Dark. But there are some people that I know, and I'm sure you all know too, that just seem to be itching for an argument or a fight to try to make you feel guilty. Like I could be telling a joke about, the Wicked Witch of the East, and somebody would come up to me and go, "Hey dude, That's not funny. My aunt was killed by a flying house. How the fuck should I know that? And when I'm telling a joke or talking about something, the intention isn't to hurt somebody. The intention is to have a laugh or two. It's not meant to harm anybody. I'm not trying to amplify your post-traumatic stress disorder over your aunt being the Wicked Witch of the East. Well, mine was the Wicked Witch of the West, and throwing water on her didn't melt her. I'm being mean, I know. I'll just say this. My aunt wasn't as ugly as the Wicked Witch of the West. So there's the compliment. God, I'm going to hell. If there is one. God, you all know it. I'm driving the fucking bus down there. Jesus. You know, the South Park episodes where Satan's dating Saddam Hussein. I mean, that's some fucked up shit right there, isn't it? Oh, Lord. Steer clear of them. They be bitches. We better get a little serious before the end of this episode. But honestly, how many times have we talked about relationships on this podcast? I guess technically almost every single one of them, right? But I guess I'm growing a little bit frustrated with people who once again think that a single person must be incomplete because they're single. That somehow you have to have a relationship to be whole, to be complete. But I can get a whole without having a relationship. Okay, I know that's a bad joke. God bless America, hit me, etc. Jesus. But you see what I'm saying? I've always felt like people who want to make you feel bad for being single are ones that aren't really enjoying their relationship. And I have fooled around, sucked and fucked and dipped and slipped plenty of married people who openly admit that they're not satisfied and happy in their marriages. It's not for me to judge. It's not for me to say no. It's not my fault your husband trying to get up in my Kool-Aid. And that's another thing I hate. Isn't it something, you see these stupid fucked up shows where they catch somebody cheating and all that? Get mad at your partner who cheated. It's not the other person's fault that they're cheating on you with them. Blame the one who's to blame if you're mad about it. Most people these days seem to have an agreement and it works really well for them. And I've talked about that before and I don't want to talk about it again. It just seems to keep popping up because I must have some kind of weird issue going on that I can't pinpoint just yet. But wouldn't that be a surprise to everybody, right? Alan has issues? Wow. Big surprise, honey. This such a surprise. Give me a surprise party. We're not talking about birthdays anymore, okay? I'm way past the birthday stage. I guess I'm closer to death day. Oh, well, there's no doubt about that, right? Right. Shut up, Chadwick. What am I going to wear to happy hour tonight? I really want to get dick down, but in an oral way. I mentioned that last week, didn't I? About not really liking butt activity. I do sometimes. I just don't like butt munching. If we're going to fuck, we'll fuck. That's great. I was watching a porn the other day and, it was two hot guys. They were fucking sexy as hell. But the one, goddamn, I think they were calling it tongue fucking. And I guess that's what it is. But that tongue was going deep in there. And I was just like, Jesus Christ. Well, I don't know if I want to kiss you after that. I don't know about touching that assy mouth. Okay, that might have been vodka induced right there. So forgive me on that. My God, I'm going to have to edit so much out of this out that it's not even going to be funny. I was trying to be serious there for a second about relationships, and I go right off the rails again, don't I? But have you all seen that? Or are you one of those people? Do you feel like you have to flaunt your relationship in front of everybody? And that's fine. Flaunting is great. But if you're doing it to try to make other people feel bad that they don't have a relationship, you're not really doing it for the right reason. Now, are you? You should be flaunting your relationship because you're proud of having it, not because you're trying to hurt somebody else's feelings or something. My God. But it is the year 2025, and buffoonery and evil and wickedness and bitchiness prevail, don't they? People that are just vindictive about everything. But it's always been my experience, the ones who boast and go crazy and bragging about their relationships are the ones that are the most miserable. They are trying really just to convince themselves that they're happy in their relationships. That's why you see every other picture is them kissing or hugging and saying how much they love each other. And I hope it's really real. I hope every word, every post on social media you put about your relationship is absolutely true. But I have my doubts. Having said all that, I've got to get ready for happy hour. So this is going to be a split episode. This is going to be a before happy hour and post hangover tomorrow. So you got plenty of time right now. Well, that's not true. I have plenty of time to stew because you're going to hear it right now. But for me, it's going to be at least 10 hours later. Keep that in mind when you hear the next segment. Booyah! Oh, God. Oh, my God. Sinners and saints. Oh, I know you're doing better than I am right now. Jesus, what a night. Holy fuck, what a night. I had fun. I really did. It wasn't very busy, and a lot of my peeps weren't there, which was a bit of a surprise. I'm not sure what was going on. Maybe they had been partying too much all week long or something. But I had fun. I even got a coffee cake from somebody's mom, and it was amazing. Actually, it is amazing because I've only eaten one small piece, and I've got the whole cake downstairs. Wow. But you can tell that I'm not at 100%. That shouldn't be a surprise, considering the volume of alcohol that was consumed last night. Oh my God, and baby Jesus, it was rough. But that's how I feel about my drinking, is that it's always been a social event. I've never had a drink by myself here at home, except for when I'm talking to you guys. But that still feels like, to me, a social event. I'm not by myself here doing it. And even that I don't do very often. But anyway, why am I trying to justify my shit? I don't know. I'm having a good time, and that's all that matters. Because we're not guaranteed one damn minute in this world. So you better enjoy it while you can. And I'm not going to get into that again because we've had that talk a few months ago, didn't we? I believe. So the main topic was about relationships. And, well, I think we've exhausted that too. But isn't it strange how we do connect with other people, especially within the gay community? There are as many cliques in the gay community as any other part of our culture. It's just that hopefully in certain times we can still come together even if we're rivals. Unfortunately, there are people that have no desire to be part of our community. I don't want to be like one of these gossipy kind of bitches, but there is a person in our community where I live who seems to be hell-bent on stealing someone's legacy. I've talked about Mama Jean countless times on this podcast. And Mama Jean, who died 9 years ago, is still an icon, is still Mama Jean to all of us. And you have this raggedy-ass old queen who thinks that she can somehow legally take Jean's legacy, his Christmas toy drive, that party, and claim it for herself, even though we all know how low that is. She doesn't seem to care that we all will look at her as this scumbag who's trying to usurp Jean's legacy, trying to pretend like it's her legacy, when it will never be her legacy. Stooping so low as to try to threaten people and harass people into letting her have her way. She doesn't give a damn about the toy drive and all the children that have received toys from Mama Jean's Christmas party. She wants the accolades. She wants to feel like she is as loved as Mama Jean is. The love we have for Mama Jean didn't go away when she died. It just got stronger. And it is a personal insult to all of us and to Jean's name and to Jean's family, who are so offended by this bitch who thinks she can steal that wonderful event and claim it for her own as if it's her idea. I mean, this bitch went as low as to say that Mama Jean on her deathbed said that she wanted the party to be turned back over to this person. The party never was with that person. Mama Jean despises this person, has always despised this person. This person has never had a kind word to say about anybody in the world. And she has this platform in which she could be part of the broader community. She could be supportive. She could create her own toy drive. She doesn't need Mama Jean's toy drive. She could create her own and build her own legacy. But no, that might take extra work and actually show some actual emotional support and a determination to do some good. This is not this bitch's motivation. I guess she has it in her mind. The whole community doesn't know what she's doing and that it'll be accepted and she'll be loved anyway. What is up with people like that? Why do people just convince themselves that everything they do is right and good and noble and then everybody loves them? Hell's bells, I know damn well that everybody doesn't love me. I'm lucky that I haven't been mowed down like a dog in the parking lot by some deranged, angry person wanting to kill me. I'm surprised it hasn't happened, I just wish I could understand this person. But this isn't the first stunt that they've pulled. They have done this their whole lives. They have spied on other clubs and businesses. They have made horrible calls to the health department and to the fire department, whoever, telling lies to try to get these other businesses closed because she views them as a threat to her business. She is absolutely wanting to destroy a large portion of the gay community in our city for her own gain. Why would you have pride in that? I'm telling you, it makes me angry as shit. Oh, I guess the reason why I'm bringing this up is that it came up also at happy hour last night. It's been the talk of the town all week, even though I've known about the threats for several months, but we kept it quiet at the request of those that were specifically targeted by these threats. Unfortunately, this bitch, or fortunately, depending, she threatened somebody else who is not going to let it be quiet and has exposed all of it in all of its glory. And I love that. I love that it's out there and that it's getting more attention as to what type of person this bitch is. I could get sued over this, but if they do, they would have to acknowledge that the bitch I'm talking about is them. Because I haven't named a name, have I? But isn't it interesting? Everybody in my community here that listens to this podcast knows exactly who I'm talking about. I guess we all can be a little bit catty when we have to be, can't we? Let me explain in basic terms what is actually happening with this. Those of you who don't know, Mama Jean is, like I said, an icon in our community. We've all loved her and known her for her whole life, as long as I can remember. And Mama Jean always held a party, a Christmas party, which is the social event of the season here. But it was a toy drive. Your requirement was to bring one unwrapped toy. Now, for me, if you all listen to the Christmas episodes, you know that I go hog wild and I bring a carload of toys for that party. It's just the best and most fun time I have around Christmas. And Mama Jean has done it for 30, 35, 40 years, and it didn't stop with her death. That was Jean's request when he died, was that we keep the party going. And the ones that were involved in it then have kept it going. Well, this person has decided to try to make legal claim to certain names like Queen Mother or Jean's Christmas Toy Drive or so on and so forth, and threatening people that if you use it, she can sue us. Do you see how petty and disgusting that really is? How could you threaten people who were trying to do something in the name of our Queen Mother that she loved doing for so many years? It is just not only disgusting and repulsive, it's repugnant. It's pathetic. Because guess what, honey? You're not Jean, and you're never going to be. I can hear the one or two people that might defend her saying, hey, it's only business. Well, yeah, it's probably only business to you. but it meant a whole lot more than just business for Mama Jean. And we're not going to just take it lying down. We're not going to let you steal Mama Jean's legacy. I'm guessing that every gay community around the world, you have drama like this in some ways, don't you? There's cattiness everywhere. We know that. And as we get older, a lot of us can be divas. God knows I could be a diva. I hope I'm not as bad as something like this, but I do have respect for other people. I even respect people that don't like me. I know how hard it is to be gay in the Bible Belt. I know how everybody has been treated one way or the other. There is nobody that I can think of in the whole world that has completely escaped homophobia. You've had some incident in your life somewhere along the way that you were, at least, not necessarily physically assaulted, but verbally assaulted. I know this. We've all had it. Go back to some of my earlier episodes. I had teachers in high school and in elementary school calling gay people disgusting and filthy. These are school teachers, for God's sakes, not realizing that they had at least one gay student in that classroom. Turned out they had a few more than that. I wonder how they are, those that are still alive, how they feel about it now. Do they have any sense of remorse about the things they said during those times? My guess is they don't. Or they'll just pretend like they never were that way. I've got members of my family. I have never forgotten some of the shit they've said. And some of them try to act like they've always been supportive of gay rights. And I just look at them and like, you fucking liars. But I have no time for that. Let them think what they want. That's great. As long as we're supportive now, yay, wonderful. Hallelujah, praise the baby Jesus. But you're not going to fool me. If anybody asks me, I will tell them the truth. No, they weren't always supportive. They were bigoted assholes. And they probably still are, but they're just not going to show it in public because it's not popular to be anti-gay anymore. Well, here in the Bible Belt it is, and if you're a Republican, apparently it is. God, have a taco recently? If you know, you know. I guess I need to backtrack just a little bit because, people can change. People can learn and grow. I'm hoping that some of my relatives who are supportive really did make that change. But I just know my history with them, and I just really do have my doubts. But you know what? They're not part of my life anymore. So they're in their world. I'm in mine. I'm happy. I hope they are. Who knows? And that's all just fine. Right? Sure it is. Well, this has been quite the episode, hasn't it? I hope you've had some fun and got some enjoyment out of all of this deranged rambling. If not, please come back and see me next week and we'll try it all again. And as always, take life by the balls and be real. We'll see you soon. I need a drink.